Tom Jones, with a voice that could melt hearts and raise roofs, rose from humble beginnings to international stardom. But his seemingly charmed life hit a trail of broken promises, fleeting romances, and profound loss. Selling over 100 million records, he was adored by women worldwide. His affairs were legendary, including a liaison with a former Miss World and a fling that resulted in a son he never acknowledged. In his later years, a devastating loss led him to question the emptiness of his fame and fortune. Could his powerful voice mask a lifetime of regrets? Watch until the end to discover the untold story of Tom Jones. Early life and struggles. Tom Jones' life began in the heart of Wales coal country. Born Thomas John Woodward on June 7, 1940, at 57, Kingsland Terrace in Treforest, he was the son of Freda Jones and Thomas Woodward, a coal miner. His heritage was primarily English, with a touch of Welsh from his maternal side. From a young age, singing was his refuge. It filled family gatherings, weddings, and even echoed through the halls of his schools, Wood Road Infant School, Wood Road Junior School, and later Pontypridd Central Secondary Modern School. However, his promising voice couldn't shield him from hardship. At age 12 in 1952, tuberculosis struck, confining him to bed for 2 long years. It was a time of fear and isolation, yet even then, his passion found a way. Music poured from the radio, every note seeping into his soul. Drawing became his companion, filling the hours of confinement. As his health returned, determination took root. Inspired by the sounds that had sustained him, he adopted the stage name Tom Jones. Yet his path wasn't clear. The expectation of following his father into the mines loomed large. To support himself as he chased his dream, he took on menial jobs, the grit of construction work, the monotony of a glove factory. It was a world away from the stages he envisioned. But nights held a different tune. Fronting the local band Tommy Scott and the Senators, he found his voice rising above the din of working men's clubs. That raw, powerful baritone couldn't be ignored. It was a force in the making, even if he didn't yet fully realize it. Breakthrough and stardom. Then, in 1963, fate stepped in. Manager Gordon Mills witnessed his talent, seeing the potential beneath the rough exterior. A new era beckoned, one filled with dazzling spotlights, roaring crowds, and the adoration of countless fans. Mills recognized the potential that lay beneath the rough exterior. He rebranded his young charge as Tom Jones, a name that borrowed a bit of Hollywood shimmer and perfectly suited the powerhouse voice he was about to unleash. Securing a deal with Decca Records in 1964 seemed like the big break, but his debut single, Chills and Fever, floundered upon its late 1964 release. It took the rebellious champions of offshore pirate radio stations to pick up his follow-up song, It's Not Unusual. Suddenly, in early 1965, that full-throated baritone was everywhere. The UK charts went wild, with It's Not Unusual claiming the #1 spot, and the song even cracked the US top 10. It marked Tom Jones' arrival as a major force in the British invasion. Hollywood quickly came calling. Jones found himself belting out theme songs for blockbuster films, starting with 1965's James Bond epic Thunderball. He even lent his voice to the quirky Burt Bacharach tune What's New Pussycat, also released in 1965. A Grammy Award for Best New Artist in 1966 served as the cherry on top of this incredible year. Even Elvis Presley, the undisputed king, took notice. Their first meeting in 1965 on the set of Paramount Studios ignited a friendship that would span years. However, as the decade wore on, the initial frenzy began to fade. Gordon Mills, ever the strategist, recognized the need to adapt. He deftly reshaped Tom Jones' image, turning him from a raw rhythm and blues belter into a suave crooner. Songs like I'll Never Fall in Love Again, 1967, I'm Coming Home, 1967, and the iconic Delilah, 1968, all kept him near the top of the UK charts, extending his reach and ensuring his relevance in a rapidly changing musical landscape. Las Vegas and television fame. Las Vegas became his new stomping ground. His debut at the Flamingo Hotel in 1967 was a sensation. Gone were the simple suits, replaced by open shirts, tight trousers, and an unabashed sex appeal that drove audiences wild. Vegas embraced Tom Jones, and he returned year after year until 2011, his booming voice echoing through those glittering casinos. Fame took him to television with the wildly successful This Is Tom Jones, a variety show produced from 1969 to 1971 that aired on both sides of the Atlantic and made him a household name. His global popularity soared, even landing him a Golden Globe nomination for Best Actor in 1970. A second, albeit shorter-lived variety show, simply titled Tom Jones, ran from 1980 to 1981. Unfortunately, both TV ventures ended in murky legal battles with production companies over unpaid royalties. These disputes would drag on for years, a hidden cost of his time in the spotlight. The 1970s and career shifts. The 1970s marked a mixed bag for the Welsh superstar. He toured relentlessly with backing groups like Quiet Elegance and the Blossoms, still churning out hits like She's a Lady and Say You'll Stay Until Tomorrow. But his popularity began to wane as the musical landscape shifted. Yet he proved adaptable, even scoring a major U.S. country hit with Say You'll Stay Until Tomorrow in 1976. He dabbled further in television, co-starring with Jennifer O'Neill in the special London Bridge special, 1972. Bigger plans, like portraying a CIA assassin in the 1976 film Yakuza, fell apart due to financial troubles. His full acting debut came in 1979's Pleasure Cove, an ill-fated attempt at launching a TV series. From guest spots on Fantasy Island to belting out tunes with stars like Raquel Welch, he never shied away from the camera. Resurgence in the 1980s and beyond. Tom Jones embarked on a new musical chapter in the early 1980s, finding success in the realm of country music. However, this shift didn't translate to UK success. Then came a turning point, the passing of his longtime manager and mentor, Gordon Mills, in 1986. It was his son, Mark, who stepped in to take the reins of his career. A surprise resurgence was just around the corner. 1987 saw him back on the UK charts with A Boy From Nowhere. The following year, his bold cover of Prince's Kiss, a collaboration with Art of Noise, soared both in the UK and US. The accompanying MTV video brought a fresh, younger audience to Tom Jones and even snagged him an MTV Video Music Award for Breakthrough Video. Tom Jones' fame became his passport to a whirlwind of experiences. He earned a coveted star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and joined forces with musical titans like Van Morrison, further solidifying his place in the industry. Embracing pop culture, he made appearances at mega-events like the Glastonbury Festival and wasn't afraid to show his playful side with cameos on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, 1993, and The Simpsons, 1992. He proved adaptable, signing with Interscope Records in 1993 and scoring a hit with If I Only Knew. His hosting gig at the MTV Europe Music Awards the following year showcased his charisma beyond the microphone. Then there was his unforgettable turn in The Full Monty, 1997, where he unleashed a sultry rendition of You Can Leave Your Hat On. His 1999 album Reload was a blockbuster, packed with dazzling duets featuring stars like the Cardigans and Robbie Williams. It soared to number 1 in the UK, and the explosive single Sex Bomb reminded everyone he still had that signature swagger. The new millennium and continued success. The new millennium had plenty in store for Tom Jones. He kicked off the century in style, performing for President Bill Clinton's star-studded New Year's Eve celebration in Washington, D.C. His booming voice even made its way into sports when he was chosen to promote Australia's National Rugby League with a rousing promotional song. The industry showered Tom with recognition, including prestigious Brit Awards for Best British Male and Outstanding Contribution to Music. Never one to rest on past success, he explored new musical territory with the album Mr. Jones, collaborating with the innovative producer Wyclef Jean. This move underscored his willingness to evolve even after decades of stardom. And when VH1 Divas called in 2004, he didn't hesitate to share the stage with iconic female vocalists like Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight. Despite his globetrotting success, Tom never forgot his Welsh roots. In 2005, he returned to his hometown of Pontypridd for a triumphant concert before a crowd of thousands, his first performance there in over 40 years. It seems Wales was proud to claim him, and the BBC declared him Wales's wealthiest entertainer that same year. Collaborations with other legends, like Australian pop star John Farnham, kept the creative juices flowing. The ultimate honor came in 2006 when Queen Elizabeth II bestowed a knighthood on him, officially Sir Tom Jones now. The title didn't slow him down one bit. He rocked out with Joss Stone and Aerosmith's Joe Perry at the star-studded 2007 concert for Diana. A lifelong boxing fan, his powerful anthems became the soundtrack for several high-profile boxing matches, further cementing his status as an iconic voice for exciting events. Later albums like 24 Hours signaled new chapters, fueled by a relentless touring schedule that would put artists half his age to shame. With each award and every electrifying performance, it was clear the fire within Tom Jones showed no signs of fading. A new musical shift and personal reflections. A new decade brought a stunning musical shift for Tom Jones. His 2010 album Praise and Blame dove headfirst into blues and gospel, showcasing his enduring vocal power. Songs by legends like Bob Dylan and John Lee Hooker were given new life, even featuring guest stars like Booker T. The industry, however, wasn't initially on board. Leaked emails revealed label exec David Sharp's disdain for the project, calling it a sick joke. Tom Jones was furious, the betrayal fueling his determination. His fiery performance of Burning Hell on Friday night with Jonathan Ross and the album's #2 debut on the UK charts proved the doubters wrong. By this point, he had sold over 100 million records, a testament to his enduring appeal. His presence remained undeniable. In 2011, he graced the Help for Heroes charity concert at Twickenham Stadium with a massive crowd and made his mark on the legendary Late Show with David Letterman. Collaboration seemed to be his motto, as he even lent his voice to Hugh Laurie's blues debut album and appeared in Laurie's music-themed TV series Perspectives. He even took the stage on American Idol in 2011, sharing it with the next generation of talent. Jack White, former frontman of the White Stripes, teamed up with Jones in 2012 on the hard-hitting single Evil. The limited edition tricolored vinyl release was a nod to Spillers Records, a Cardiff shop Tom Jones frequented as a boy, and the world's oldest record store. The Voice UK and later career. The 2010s brought him renewed mainstream attention thanks to his role as a coach on The Voice UK. Mentored by Jones, Leanne Mitchell took home the crown in the first series. But his journey on the show was a roller coaster. Despite his success, his contract wasn't renewed in 2015, a decision BBC execs sprung on him with just 24 hours' notice. News of his removal seemed to come from nowhere, leaving him surprised and frustrated. He publicly expressed his disappointment, particularly about the lack of basic courtesy from BBC executives after 4 years of dedicated service to the show. Rather than a conversation or a collaborative decision, Tom was simply informed he would no longer be part of the program. This impersonal and abrupt handling of the situation seemed to be the main source of his frustration. While he understood the potential for changes within a show, he'd expected a level of respect and communication, which he felt were lacking in this instance. His social media comments praised the hardworking production team and the talented performers. It was clear his dedication to the show went beyond protecting his own position. He concluded with what seemed like a bittersweet farewell, wishing The Voice UK well despite the abrupt end to his involvement. Fans were likely disappointed by his departure. Tom brought a unique perspective to the judging panel, his decades of experience and genuine musical talent offering a different kind of mentorship than some of the other judges could provide. Yet he kept creating. The album Spirit in the Room featured interpretations of tracks by powerhouses like Paul McCartney and Leonard Cohen. He even dipped his toes into acting, starring in the one-off drama King of the Teds. The Queen's Diamond Jubilee concert that same year saw him belting out Delilah before Buckingham Palace, a testament to his ongoing iconic status. Festivals were no stranger to his booming voice, with appearances at V Festival and BBC Radio 2's Live in Hyde Park. He even surprised some by opening for Morrissey at a 2014 show in the US. That same year, he rocked the Australian Football League's grand final with Ed Sheeran by his side. In 2015, Long Lost Suitcase completed his album trilogy, a project deeply tied to his autobiography. Producers like Ethan Johns aided him in bringing songs by the Rolling Stones and Hank Williams back to life. He remained a BBC Children in Need staple and closed out 2015 with a duet alongside Paul Weller on Jools Holland's annual Hootenanny. The Voice UK pulled him back in 2017 for another round as a coach, followed by a massive summer tour in 2018. Unfortunately, illness and weather led to several cancelled shows. He continued to grace Jools Holland's annual Hootenanny with his presence, including collaborations with Holland and rising star Celeste in 2021. He released Surrounded by Time, yet another covers album brimming with carefully selected tracks. His moving performance of I Won't Crumble With You If You Fall on The Voice UK in 2022 held special significance, as he dedicated it to his late wife. Her words during her battle with cancer had inspired him during a dark time. The song shot to the top of the iTunes charts, becoming a bittersweet anthem of love and loss. Personal life, love, loss, and legacy. Tom Jones, the iconic ladies' man, had an unlikely secret weapon, the unwavering love of his childhood sweetheart, Linda. Their story began in the heart of the Welsh valleys, where their lives intertwined from a young age. Growing up a mere 200 yards apart, they met when they were just 12, and by 14, hearts were already aflutter. Purposely timing their errands to the grocery store for a chance to be together, their affection blossomed into a teenage romance. Their lives took a sudden turn when a surprise pregnancy led to a rushed wedding on March 2, 1957. Tommy Woodward and Linda Trenchard were married at the Pontypridd Register Office, both just 16 years old. Soon after, their son Mark was born, cementing their young family. It was Linda, then a drapery shop assistant, who saw the star potential in her husband. Ever the supportive wife, she urged him to chase his dreams as he fronted the band Tommy Scott and the Senators. Even a name change to the now famous Tom Jones, inspired by a hit movie, couldn't dim her faith in him. Despite Linda's unwavering love back home, the temptations of stardom were too much for Tom. He admitted to countless affairs during his peak years, and some with other famous stars caused major problems in his marriage. One particularly long affair was with Mary Wilson of the Supremes. It started in 1968 during a U.S. tour and continued for 2 years. Linda became suspicious when she found out Mary had flown to the UK to see Tom while he was performing in Bournemouth. Their secret romance wasn't always smooth sailing. One story even claims Mary had a close escape from Tom's apartment moments before an angry Linda arrived for a confrontation. Surprisingly, Linda eventually befriended Mary. Mary became like part of the Jones family and even knew their son Mark. Tom and Mary remained close friends right up until her death in 2021. Fatherhood and family dynamics. Fatherhood was a seismic shift for Tom Jones. At just 16, welcoming his son Mark into the world transformed him. "I became a man very quickly," he admits, a sense of responsibility fueling his determination to succeed. The bond between Tom and Mark is less like traditional father and son and more like brothers. Their close age gap and shared life experiences contributed to this unique dynamic. Mark stepped into the role of manager in 1986, a shift that proved pivotal for Tom's career. Mark understood his father's talent and ambitions better than anyone. His goal was to help Tom break free from the tuxedo singer stereotype, ensuring his music appealed to a broader audience. Tom credits Mark with knowing what's in his heart, a trust that fueled their professional and personal connection. However, it's been alleged that Mark, only 3 years older than Tom's former mistress, Charlotte Laws, was involved in procuring women for his father while acting as his manager. These are serious accusations, and while not directly confirmed, they add a troubling layer to their story. Wealth, homes, and later years. With a net worth estimated around $300 million, Tom Jones has certainly achieved a life of luxury. However, financial security wasn't always a guarantee. In 1974, the UK's high tax rates forced him to make a tough choice: relocate his family to the United States and seek tax exile status. This move led them to Los Angeles, where they landed a real estate coup, a sprawling mansion in the exclusive Eastgate Bel Air area. This wasn't just any house, it was a former residence of the legendary Dean Martin, adding a touch of Hollywood history to their new life. They reportedly paid $500,000 for the property in 1976, a hefty sum back then but a drop in the bucket compared to the price Nicolas Cage paid when he purchased it from them in 1998, a cool $6.469 million. Despite the sunshine and the impressive mansion, Linda, Tom's wife, never fully settled in the U.S. A part of her always yearned for their homeland. Sadly, illness prevented them from returning while she was still alive. But in her final days, she made Tom promise to honor their shared dream, to eventually move back to London. They also owned a sizable villa, over 8,100 square feet, in the Holmby Hills neighborhood. This property was sold after Linda's death, along with an adjacent lot, for a combined price of $1.28 million. He decided to sell it and move to a London apartment, a place that felt more familiar and comforting. Friendship with Elvis Presley. His friendship with Elvis Presley was a highlight of Tom's life. They first connected on the set of Paradise, Hawaiian Style in 1965 and immediately hit it off. Their bond ran deep, and they often spent nights singing together at Presley's legendary Vegas suite. The respect between them was mutual. It was actually Tom who inspired Elvis to return to the stage for his iconic Vegas residency after catching one of Tom's electrifying live shows. Elvis reportedly told him it reignited his own desire to connect with live audiences. Tom, in a way, helped bring the magic of live Elvis back to the world after a string of less-than-stellar films. Their time together wasn't just about work. They'd hang out at each other's homes, catch other artist shows, and simply enjoy each other's company. Years later, Tom shared an interesting story that reveals just how much Elvis valued another rock and roll legend. After watching Chuck Berry perform, Elvis turned to Tom and declared that Berry was the real king of rock and roll. It was the ultimate compliment from one icon to another. Tom still celebrates these iconic friendships at his concerts. He often performs songs like Great Balls of Fire and Johnny B. Good, paying tribute to their shared love of rock and roll and the artists like Elvis and Chuck Berry who shaped its sound. Sadly, Elvis's untimely passing in 1977 brought their friendship to an end. Romance with Priscilla Presley. The year 2017 marked a new chapter in the life of legendary Welsh singer Tom Jones. A relationship blossomed with Priscilla Presley, the iconic former wife of Elvis Presley. News of their connection sent shockwaves through the media, the fascination fueled by their status as giants of their respective eras. However, Priscilla's independent accomplishments extend far beyond her marriage to the king of rock and roll. She's a talented actress, a shrewd businesswoman, and her successful fragrance line highlights her continued influence and appeal. Their shared passion for music and the entertainment industry laid the foundation for their connection. Despite an age difference, Tom is 84, while Priscilla is 78, they found common ground and a spark that clearly ignited. Their relationship doesn't hide in the shadows. They often grace red carpets and events together, their smiles and body language revealing genuine affection. Supporting each other's endeavors seems a priority, each frequently attending the other's performances, a clear show of commitment. Another encouraging sign has been the approval of their families. Tom's son, Mark Woodward, has voiced his happiness for his father, seeing how the relationship with Priscilla adds joy and support to his life. This family blessing likely removes potential tension and allows them to focus on building their bond without outside interference. In 2024, Tom and Priscilla seem focused on enjoying the present rather than rushing into major milestones. They appear content to savor their time together, building memories and living day to day. Perhaps this pressure-free mindset, given their high-profile lives and iconic histories, is what's keeping their relationship healthy and drama-free. Health concerns and resilience. Last November, Tom Jones caused concern among fans of The Voice during a performance. A worrisome mark was spotted on his face, sparking a flurry of online comments urging him to have it examined. Always the consummate professional, Tom stayed focused on the show but later took to social media to reassure fans. He shared a video of his duet with a contestant, subtly letting everyone know he was aware of the concern and likely taking steps to address it. Health issues aren't new for the 83-year-old superstar. In the past, he's spoken openly about the challenges of aging, including the need for not one but two hip replacements. These procedures weren't optional. Before his first surgery, he admitted struggling to get through even a few songs without needing to rest. Determined to keep performing, he made the necessary lifestyle changes, including a major weight loss effort. Excess pounds were putting a strain on his body, particularly his new hips. At his heaviest, he found himself unable to fit into his stage clothes, a wake-up call for the style-conscious singer. While he's been open about some challenges, Tom maintains a level of privacy about others. The exact nature of the mark that caused concern on The Voice has never been explicitly confirmed. Still, fans can take comfort knowing he seems proactive about his health, scheduling surgeries during tour breaks and making the lifestyle adjustments necessary to keep performing at his best. Final thoughts. Tom Jones is living his best life at 83. If you enjoyed this glimpse into his incredible journey, please give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update.